What's up, comic book community? Long Box Love Affair here with a box of Hellboy. So, I went through my collection a while back and I found this much in a short box worth of Hellboy. And it really is a catalog of all of the major Hellboy books, not including the BRPD books that he is part of from time to time. But I'm a big Hellboy fan. I love the movies, as cheeky as they can be. I also am really looking forward to the new movie where they're rebooting it. And just the mythology is really interesting. And Mike Mignola's artwork is he's a favorite artist of mine, and I've actually never seen him at a con. I haven't gone to a whole lot of major cons, but you know, I'm sure he's out there. It'd be cool to snag his sig. I loved his work before. I remember when I first saw it, though I didn't. It's very boxy and sometimes difficult to decipher what's going on. He does really well when there's not a lot on the page, a lot of empty free space, and his images can stand alone. But I got into trying to collect Hellboy about, several years after I debuted. So what I think I'm going to do is go through my entire box and just show off the Hellboy comics I have. I'm debating saying see ya to these books as much as it pains me because I've read them, I've loved them, but I'm wondering if I could flip them and pass them on to another collector that would also love them, as well as give me an opportunity to have some extra funds to reinvest in some other titles that I'm actively looking at. So I'm thinking about that, and hell, it'd be great to sell them all together. But these are books that I love. I love the artwork, and Mignola's not really drawing Hellboy anymore. Once Hellboy went to hell, he's kind of took a back seat. So let me just show off a couple books to start that really were part of the original movie, and so that's Hellboy 1 through 4, Seed of Destruction. And so how Hellboy works is each storyline is its own miniseries, and that's how the story is told, and there's a mythology that slowly builds. I believe Seed of Destruction was one of the first, if not the first. Got Monkey Man and O'Brien, another creator-owned Arthur Adams series that was previewed in this book. Dark Horse had, this is one of the early Dark Horse Legend titles, and so that's John Byrne's Next Men, Hellboy, Concrete I think was part of that, a bunch of other independent creator-owned titles, so that gave them an opportunity to be showcased. So Hellboy Seed of Destruction #1, #2, and this was the impetus for the movie, that the first one, Ron Perlman, really put the character out there. #3, there's that villain, and #4. There had been a series of short stories, and he was part of Dark Horse Presents, that comic monthly series that collected a lot of different shorter stories. So that was where he was. And I'm not going to presume that these are going in order, because they're not. There's probably some greater research to be done to see what order to read the Hellboy books in, because they are so pocketed. But this one, they reprinted the Corpse story for 25 cents, so I picked this up when I first started collecting Hellboy. And I think this was a more of a shorter story that he produced, The Corpse, and that's tied into the movie as well, if you remember the first movie where he goes into the grave in Russia and pulls a corpse out of the ground to help guide him. Wizard had this Hellboy Premiere Edition, not drawn by Mignola, but it's got the BRPD, it's got Abe, it's got Liz, it's got the ectoplasm guy, I can't remember his name, but it comes with a certificate of authenticity. I don't remember how I bought this. I probably bought it through the magazine. Also, we have a 2-issue run of Macoma, or A Tale Told by a Mummy in New York City Explorers Club on August 16th, 1993. So it's a 2-issue miniseries. And one of the things I liked about his books on the back was not an ad, but it was a piece of art from the storyline. And usually the same per story, but this is issue number 2 of Macoma. And again, beautiful art. You can see how angular it is. Hellboy's face. Yep. Tim Sale cover for Hellboy Winter Special. It's pretty cool. Only a couple of artists have really taken their hand on Hellboy. So this is Hellboy and the BPRD 1953. So these were one-shots. A Hellboy in England double feature. And then another one, The Witch Tree. And these are more recent. I'll get down to some older stuff throughout the video, don't worry. Just a comic movie adaptation for number 2, The Golden Army. Not really a full adaptation, just a 1-issue preview, I guess. 20th anniversary sampler of Hellboy with some stories there, but again, cool Mignola artwork. And he's got the back, Hellboy 20 years, so it's been going on for 20 years. That's pretty crazy. We got a double feature. He had Richard Corbin draw some of Hellboy, so there's no real title other than Double Feature of Evil. And then The Chapel of Moloch. And I feel that most of Hellboy comics does pull from modern mythology, modern stories, a lot of European influence, I think. The Bride of Hell. Let's see, we got some more Richard Corbin. Hellboy Being Human. The artwork is just really dark and gritty. This is a different artist, Kevin Nolan. Buster Oakley Gets His Wish. I got a free comic book day edition. And then this might have been one of my first Hellboy covers that I saw, and it's a Bernie Wrightson Hellboy #1, or Dark Horse Comics #100, I mean. You'd think I'm dyslexic on how I get these numbers and titles wrong sometimes. There's just so much out there. So much to remember. I have 2 copies of this, I just found out. Hellboy and The Corpse. So this is the original of The Corpse, where it was reprinted earlier. And then this is a collected edition of The Wolves of St. August, which was in the Hellboy Dark Horse Presents storyline that was over four or five issues of Dark Horse Presents, and the issues were in the 80s. I have them in here. Actually, I got them right here. So I have issue 88. This is part of that storyline that I just showed that was collected. I have a couple of those. I was surprised to see I have 3 of these. 89, just a really cool Mignola cover. '90. And this is probably one of my favorite covers, 91. Because you don't usually see white background, you see black background for Hellboy. So this is a cool cover there. And if I was ever to meet Mike Mignola, I don't know which one I would have him sign. Dark Horse Presents 151, just sort of a standalone short story here for Dark Horse Presents. And then this one, DHP, Dark Horse Presents Annual, 1998. This is, I think, first Buffy in comics, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So it goes for a little bit of money. All right, jumping back, this one is, it's got some stickers on it showing the grade, which I don't agree with the grades. I think these are the wrong bags when I got them. Conqueror Worm. So this is a 4-issue mini-series that Hellboy had going on. Got some Lobster Johnson, you have some of the Colossus here. So all the stories build upon each other, and they are building up the BRPD, or BPRD, whatever that damn acronym is. Number 3. And number 4. Next up is The Wild Hunt. This was more of a modern one, and I was already full swinging into collecting and reading these separately. The Wild Hunt, number 1. Number 2. I think this is the hot one right now because of the Queen villain from the upcoming movie. So this might be a hot one to find, number 2. Number 3. Might have cooled off a little bit by now. Number 4. Number 5. Just show the back of them. They all have this back cover. He's traveling with like an army of the dead. Number 6. This cover I love. Number 7, where he grows that horn out. And number 8. And I think this one goes directly into In Hell. And how many issues is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 10. And this might have been the last set that really has come out with Hellboy being featured when he actually goes to hell. It's number 3. And the colors, look at those colors. Just beautiful stuff. 4. 5. 6. 7. This is sort of Mike Mignola's signature, just like a lapsed over character. Shoulders shrugged. 8. 9. And 10. Looks like he's fighting Satan there. It's been a while since I've read these. They are all quick reads. Next is Darkness Calls. Again, this is out of order, so I think this stuff was before In Hell. So Darkness Calls, number 1. Number 2. 3. 4. 5. And this was sort of a big deal when Duncan Fegredo, I think his name is. Duncan Fegredo took over the artwork chops on this. And 6. He did a bunch of Hellboy series, including this one, The Fury. Though Mignola did the covers. Cool, cool cover. 2. I need to figure out how convention schedules get posted for these guys. Mike Mignola, let's see, Ron Lim, Mark Silvestri. Those are all guys on my hit list right now. So I can't figure out what cons they'll be at because those are the cons I want to be at. This is 3 of 3, The Fury. This might be where he loses his eye in this storyline. I can't remember. He does lose an eye. Some more Richard Corbin, Hellboy in Mexico. This one's not in a bag. I don't know why. But really cool. Similar style to some degree. The Island, a 2-parter. Awesome cover. And the back just continues. 2, the black back. I would imagine these are hard to get graded in terms of what it comes back as. The Storm. I should probably do a second video of these to find out the chronology, but I should also reread everything. That's a cool cover, just sort of the characters floating in the middle of that. Number 3. Jumping back to a very early Hellboy issue that ties into the, gosh, what was the movie one that I showed early on? The Seed of Destruction. Is Wake the Devil. These ones aren't mint for sure. As said by Not Mint on the bag. I don't know who wrote that. But they're not poor for sure. They just have some spine creases. Number 3. It's a 5-issue miniseries. This is when they put quotes on the back of the reviews, which I hate. I hate when you put reviews of what the book is about, or on the back, or even on the front. I hate that. Number 4. I just want the art, something relevant to the story. Oh, this is a cool cover. Number 5. I feel like this might have also tied into the movie to some extent. The Crooked Man, more Corbin, Richard Corbin 1. This back cover's creepy. Got a woman or a man's skin flayed out there. Number 2. Number 3. These could definitely constitute as horror comics. They're not light subjects here. The Sleeping and the Dead. Number 1. Number 2. Actually, is there only 2 issues? Yep, 1 of 2. And if you, I just noticed the back, the characters, that picture gets older as it as the issues move on. The Third Wish, another separate storyline. Number 1 and number 2. More early Hellboy. Still got there's like 4 left, so I still got the tag on this one. Box Full of Evil. Number 1, I paid $5 for this at a con. Is that 5? Yeah, that's 5. Number 2, let me take this tag off. That's a cool cover. Something about that cover speaks to me. And then Almost Colossus. Number 1 and number 2. I do love this cover too. So if you all know how to find creator schedules, or if they post them someplace regularly. I know Twitter is a place, and sometimes Instagram they post, but sometimes by the time they post, it's too late to book any plans. Yeah, definitely have some favorites in this batch. I get emotionally invested with my comics, so it's hard to let them go. Although I am trying to center down and get the just get a core collection. I used to think Hellboy could be part of that core collection, but that said, I haven't read them lately. I've read them, put them away. I still love that cover. So it's just be a matter of, you know, what stays, what gets passed on, and they're all good. They're all good stuff. So if you're a fan of Hellboy, let me know. Put it in the comments below. Press that like button. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. Just hit that subscribe button. And yeah, so that's my Hellboy wrap-up. If there's any ones I've missed from the run, other than the BPRD ones, let me know that too, because I also am a completionist, and if I do keep these books, I will want to complete those. So so that's that. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed this run. I might do a little bit more of videos like this where I spotlight some books in my collection or fuller runs if I come across those. And I also want to show off some keys that I have piled up. Just sent a batch off to CGC that's a mixture of modern and Silver Age, so it'll take some time to get those back and before I'll be doing another CGC haul. So it's going to be just regular hauls from now on for the most part. Appreciate everyone watching. Thanks. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.